What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the January update that I slept through once it was released, and I've had a lot of time to think about it now that it's already been released, and I've got to see people's reactions and thoughts, and I want to kind of give you mine and kind of just chill everything out. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, as y'all already know, or if you don't know, now you're going to know, we're going to be going into Tier 2 and Tier 3 on launch. That basically means after Rohendel, we're going to Yorn, then Phaeton, that'll be the end of Tier 2. Then we're going to go into Punica, which is going to be the beginning of Tier 3. If you want more information on this, you can read it yourself, or you can pause. Going into it, Tier 3, we're going to have the Tier 3 dungeons, like Oria's Well or Oria's Heart. We're also going to have the Chaos Dungeons and the Guardian Raids that are associated with the beginning portion of Tier 3. A lot of things that I've seen on it are people either really excited about it or people really upset about it. And there's no real middle ground. You're either 100 or you're 0. And it's kind of understandable, because if you're really hyped for it, I can understand you being very passionate about it. Or if you're passionate about it but you're very cautious, or you're looking for an excuse to hate the game, or you're wanting the game to fail, then you can say, oh, here's my chance to give some negativity on it, which I don't understand, putting negativity for no reason. So the first thing I want to give my opinion on is Tier 3 bad for us? As a general consensus, in my opinion, looking for the game as a whole state, no, I don't think it is, especially with the director giving us from Loa on during Christmas time. He said that, once you get to that 14-15, the very first Legion raid, a lot of players really say, man, I'm not going to quit the game now that I've hit this part because it's so good, or it's such a fun fight, or it's just so much investment, or whatever the case may be. But anytime before that, they have a higher chance of giving up and quitting the game and not coming back, right? So that's one thing. So if we're getting to somewhere in that area, even close to it, where you can start seeing really kind of difficult mechanics that will clap your cheeks, yes, that's a great thing to be at. Because now you're going to say, oh, there's the difficulty that I'm looking for. There's the challenge. There's the time where I can talk with my friends and really figure this out if we want to go into it blind and really kind of bash our head against the wall, per se. So that's a good thing for Tier 3. One thing that I would say is not really a great thing for Tier 3 coming out at launch is for people like myself who have rushed through Tier 3, because I started on Russia late, rushed through Tier 1, rushed through Tier 2, got straight into Tier 3 and did as much as I could. I was really hoping to use that time to go through Tier 1 slowly, level up, do islands at my convenience, do this, that, and the third at my convenience. However, now it's going to kind of be a feeling of, I need to push as much as I can first, and then I can go do those things, because I know what waits on the other side, right? But here's the thing where it gets very wishy-washy. A lot of people are going to say, well, the top players or the experienced players are going to say they're just going to push because that's where the gold is. They're going to get to the gold before us, and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 right? Okay, that could be the case. But here's the thing that I want to take into perspective. On Russia, I'm in Tier 2. I'm currently in Phaeton, which is the last continent of Tier 2. If I look at my gear right now, and I'm going to upgrade my gear, I have a 100% chance to upgrade it. Because in this version of the game, the Legion raids are so far ahead of, we've got so many of them that they want me to jump straight into it. There are a lot of catch-up mechanics for me to get straight into it, right? However, and this is just me taking a guess, I really don't believe that it's going to be like that on NA and EU. I really believe that once we get to a certain level, let's just say like level 8, my success rate may be 80% chance, all right? And as it goes up to 13, going into level 14, like right here, it may be a 20% chance for me to hit that. And so the chances are going to go lower, which, what does that mean, right? That means I'm going to need a lot more resources. That means I hope I have really good RNG. so I can progress further. But guess what? The reality of it is, if they do it in the sense of, level 13 to 14 may be a 20% chance, a lot of people are going to miss that. A lot of people are going to miss that. So that means resources are gone, gold is gone, which also then pushes that player back. Well, you can say, oh yeah, well, you can just swipe for materials as a convenience factor, and you can go in and try to upgrade that way and get ahead quicker, right? My friend, unless you got a couple thousands, couple G's, no, my friend, no. So on that regard, it's not even anything that I would really be worried about, in the sense of they're going to push so far ahead, because every person is going to hit a soft wall that can be overcome by a ginormous amount of money. Will people hit and start using their money? Sure, by all means. But guess what? If it comes down to RNG, you're going to have to keep on swiping. And that store does not replenish. It takes time for it to replenish. So that's one thing that I really want to kind of get out there. Another aspect that you got to think about is this. You get to Shoeshire, you get your gear, and then they say, hey, we need you to level this gear up so you can go to Rohendel, just like in the beta. When that time comes, you may not have all the necessary material in order for you to continue progressing to get straight to Rohendel. People were getting straight to Rohendel by buying mats because they gave us royal crystals for free. That way we could use it in the shop and continue progging forward, right? That was one way they did it. Of course you can continue playing every day and get there eventually. However, we're not going to have that right away. Our shop's going to take a long time to refresh, but you probably are going to fail some of those successes you may have been hitting on the beta. So you're going to be stuck in Shoeshire, and you're not even going to be worried about tier 2 because you can't even get past tier 1, much less tier 3. So that's another thing that, you got to think. You're going to be stopped at Shoeshire, then you got to prog up to Rohendel, continue leveling the gear, start in Yorn at 0, and then you got to bring it all the way up to 15 just to go to Punica to start at 0 again. That's something that's going to really slow down a lot of the things, as far as, oh man, tier 3, all the people are going to be ahead of us. No, dude, it's still going to take them time. So even if you are playing at your own pace, which I really encourage you to do, whether you go out and say, hey, I just got my boat and there are all these islands I want to explore. If I'm able to explore them, I want to go out and do them. Because that's your way you want to play the game. It don't matter about all these things that these other content creators and streamers and people like myself that are experienced with the game from other servers, or whoever that hasn't even played the game, are going to try and come out and say that you should be playing this way. No, my friend. Play the way you wish to play and enjoy the game, because at the end of the day, tier 3 is going nowhere. It's literally going to be there the entire time. But guess what? The people that are going to be pushing forward, going into tier 2 as quickly as they can and tier 3 as quickly as they can, are still going to have to come back and do the things that you're doing. One day, one way or another, they're going to have to come back. And guess what? Even if you're still there, they'll be able to help you. Even if you've gone past that, you'll be able to help someone before you, because that's the goal of the MMO genre, in my opinion, is to create the community to play with each other. It don't matter, man. Well, if I'm at tier 3 and you're at tier 1, I still gotta do your tier 1 stuff. Let me come help you, my friend. And so that's one thing that very passionate about. Just seeing all these things, man, about tier 1, tier 3. Is it good? Is it bad? In my opinion, there's a lot of good things to come from it. Not that many bad things to come from it. But at the end of the day, you're the person that's going to be playing the game. And I very, very much hope that you will play it at your own pace. Whether, your friends play with you and y'all play at your group's pace, or whether you're just trying to catch up with your favorite streamer or content creator and you just, roll with them. However the case may be, I hope you play at an enjoyable pace for you. The second thing that I want to talk about is how should you make your alts. As I mentioned before, you will have to take your gear from Shoeshire, or from the first time you do a Chaos Dungeon in North Burn. You'll have to level it up to a certain level to gain access to Rohendel. You're going to hit that point where you say, I don't have materials, So you can go and venture and do one of two things. Once you've done your Chaos Dungeons, your Guardian Hunts, you've done your Epona dailies, maybe you've even done some islands, maybe you've used your compass to go do some of these things right here, the Adventure Islands, depending on what is up for the day. Let's say you've done all that and you say, well, what do I do now? Maybe then you can start your alt. Or you could take it like this. Hey, you know, I've played this character up to a certain point. I don't really like it, but I may want to use them in the future. Let me create another character. Now that tier 3 is out, we kind of do have an understanding of, hey, our main is going to be somewhat important. Let's turn around and do with it what we must and really try to hash out through tier 1 and tier 2 and leveling who we really want to play, right? So being able to do that early on and just saying, even if you're in Burn, even if you're in Lutera, even if you wherever you are, if you want to make an alt, make the alt. If you want to be a fast pusher, I would suggest after you've done all of Shoeshire on day 1, if you're a fast pusher, Shoeshire day 1, then you do your Chaos Dungeons, you tap your gear as much as you can, you do your Guardian Hunts, and then you get off and create the next character. That's what I would do. But, you know, to each their own. Nobody, you know, who are you going to be able to have that time to do that? That's on you. Do you have the knowledge to speed run through all that? That's up to you, you know. Hey, it is what it is. But if you want to do max efficiency, I would say, hey, Shoeshire, once you run out of materials, new alt. Finally, I do want to go back to the post, just to kind of go back over it, because I know I spent a lot of time right here. The Steam achievements, I will say I'm very, very much excited for it. I was on Saint Tone streams earlier, and he mentioned that I believe the Steam achievements could possibly be linked with in-game achievements. If that's the case, it's going to be really nice. So that means you 100% the game, you get 100% of the achievements. But I will say I've only done that for one game ever on Steam, and this is going to be the second one. You can get voice packs, selections. It's going to be good. The Korean voiceover, which I will say I am going to use and just read the subtitles at another time. I'd much rather hear the mainland or where the game came from. If it was an English game, I'd rather hear it in English. If it's a Japanese game, I'd rather hear it in Japanese, so on and so forth. So I'm happy about that. Skippable cutscenes, that's great. We can skip cutscenes that we couldn't from the beta. Balance tweaks for the game, for the pacing. They said, you know, hey, we may make it a little more challenging, so we're gonna, you know, do it up the way we see fit. There are other things in here that you can take a look at yourself, whether it be naming, whether it be stacking on founders packs or miscellaneous things right here. You can look at it yourself. I'll have a link in the description for it below. But honestly speaking, this January update at the very end said they're gonna have another one for us on the way next week. And so no matter what people are saying, no matter what your favorite streamer or content creator is doing, at the end of the day, they don't make your bed, they don't pay your bills, and they don't play these games for you. You're the one that's going to be sitting here grinding. Pick a way that's most enjoyable for you to grind, or is going to be the most fun for you with your friends to grind, or what's more affordable to you as a time investment because you may have a family, work, or other obligations that you have to attend to and won't be able to know life this game when it first releases. So please just have fun with the game, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the comment section below. Please join my Discord. I will be starting my own guild on NA East. I'll let you know the server and all that as well once we have server names and everything of that sort. I'll also be streaming the game when it releases heavily. I've been taking a break from streaming just so I don't burn out on it from Russia going into NA. And lastly, please, if you do enjoy the video, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be making a release plan video now that this is out, and now that I know for sure we're going to get tier 3. I didn't want to make a tier 1 and say this is what I'm doing for tier 1, and now my whole plan has changed to tier 3. Now that I know we have tier 3, I'm about to share with you my plan in the next video, and we can go on from there. I really hope that this was helpful to you, and I know that I was yelling and very passionate, but please do know it comes from a good place, and I really want everybody to enjoy this game at the end of the day. Thank y'all for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.